You ever watch a disaster unfold in slow motion, knowing exactly how and when it'll hit, only to have everyone else laugh in your face? That's the beginning of my story, and believe me, it's one for the ages. I told them the ice wouldn't hold. I measured it, filmed it, sent emails till my fingers cramped. The HOA, they mocked me, slapped me with a fine, then paraded an entire convoy of SUVs, floats, and kids right onto that lake. What happened next? Well, if you're squeamish, now's the time to look away. But I promise this isn't just about the crash. It's about what people will do to cover their own asses, what they'll risk to look good, and what happens when the cracks finally show. See, there's something about a winter that sneaks in quiet. You know what I mean? No big freeze, no blizzard, just a string of weirdly warm days turning into nights cold enough to tease but never cold enough to seal the lake proper. I've lived by this lake 21 years. I know its moods, the way the wind sounds just before a real freeze, the groan of ice settling like an old man's bones, the crunch of snow that tells you it's safe. That year, nothing, just silence, made the hairs on my arms stand up. Old habits die hard. Every morning I walked the shore with my thermos black coffee, no sugar, took my readings, logged them in the battered green notebook I've carried since my Army days. Routine keeps you alive, especially when people get cocky around ice. That December, the first skim showed up late December 8th, way too thin. I'm talking 3 inches when you need 4 just to walk and 15 if you want to drive anything heavier than a bicycle. But in Lakewood Meadows, the HOA thinks they know better than physics. Now, I'm not exactly Mr. Social, retired Army Corps of Engineers. I came here for peace after Ellen passed. Fixed fences, shoveled driveways, kept to myself. They called me the Colonel wrong rank, but I never corrected them. Titles mean squat after you've watched good people die for someone else's ego. I didn't get involved in HOA drama until that winter. Until they turned my lake into a damn vanity project. Trouble started at the annual winter planning meeting. I skipped it like always. My neighbor Danica, bless her heart, flagged me down, scraping frost off our cars. They're planning a convoy, she whispered like she was spilling state secrets. Trucks, snowmobiles, parade floats, the works right across the ice. I almost dropped my scraper. They say it's tradition up north, sponsors lining up, she added. My stomach nodded. That night, sleep didn't stand a chance. Next morning, I drilled a test hole, 3 inches patchy. Slush, air bubbles, an accident waiting to happen. That afternoon, I fired off an email, ice thickness, temp logs, photos, state safety rules, you name it. Asked them politely to reconsider. No reply. Not a word. Then a glossy flyer shows up under my door, smiling snowmen trucks roaring across glittering ice. The big HOA Winter Convoy, spectacular, brought to you by the local developer, also surprised the HOA president's bestie. That's when I knew this wasn't about community. This was about money and power. I dug up my old weather logs, called an Army buddy county code compliance now, and asked what it'd take to file a safety complaint. Hard data, he said, and proof. So I got to work. For 5 mornings straight, I flew my drone at sunrise, mapping color shifts, cracks, weird spots. Built composite maps, marked danger zones, and overlaid them on my old bathymetric charts. The ice looked calm, but I could see it breathing, waiting for one big dumb mistake. Then 2 days before the event, I caught them from my kitchen window. 3 board members, clipboards, and walkie-talkies, one stomping on the ice like a toddler. That was it. I walked over, boots crunching, heart pounding. 10 feet from Marla Keene herself, HOA president, cherry red lipstick smile sharp as barbed wire. It's not safe, I said. She gave me that look people save for stray dogs. Thank you for your concern, Captain Harris. The lake has been thoroughly evaluated. By who, I asked. She just grinned wider. Her lapdog Steve snickered. Maybe stick to shoveling driveways. I looked at both of them. When that ice gives, I'll have every second on camera. turned and walked away, breath smoking behind me. That night I didn't sleep. Stitched together, a thermal map blue was almost safe, sickly green in the middle, angry red where the groundwater made the ice thin and treacherous. I wasn't just trying to save idiots. I was trying to make sure nobody died on my watch. At dawn, I printed everything, dropped it in a folder, and marched it to the HOA office. Lexi, the receptionist, looked at me like I was carrying a bomb. Needs to reach the board before tomorrow, I told her. If this gets buried and someone gets hurt, they'll come for everyone who could have stopped it, including you. Her eyes changed. She took the folder and disappeared down the hall. I figured I'd just made an ally or marked myself the neighborhood nut job. The answer came next morning: violation notice in my mailbox, $350 fine for alarmist claims likely to disrupt community events. They never once asked for clarification, just fined me for trying to keep their kids alive. I faxed the whole thing to Ralph, my old squad mate, now county safety. He called, voice tight. They fined you for a safety warning, Jesus, Charlie. Got everything time-stamped, you bet. That afternoon, HOA newsletter arrives, full-color, cheery fonts, photos of kids in hats. Saturday, the biggest convoy yet. Food trucks, classic cars, snowmobiles, vintage military vehicles, some weighing over 10,000 pounds on 3-inch ice. This wasn't an event. It was a death wish with snowflakes. I sent one last email, this time to everyone, mayor, sheriff, county, the local news. Attached everything, thermal maps, drone footage, the whole 9 yards. If the ice fails, this will be your legacy, not mine. Mara's reply: thank you for your continued concern. The HOA has conducted its own internal review. We encourage all residents to enjoy the event. I stared until the words blurred. They were rehearsing their excuse for after the disaster. So I posted a drone clip on the neighborhood Facebook. Hairline cracked, time-stamped, geotagged. No caption. Comments blew up. Is that our lake? Did anyone test the ice? 40 minutes later, post deleted for misinformation. I was blocked from the group. Fine. I emailed the whole package to Channel 9, built a janky website, lakewoodiswatch.com, posted every map photo and a live feed from my lakeside camera. That night, 800 visitors. Still no cancellation. The next day, well, you can guess. The convoy rolled out at dawn. Sun glinting on chrome, kids waving from floats. First few trucks made it. Then the classic cars. Then the floats entered the danger zone. The groan. The pop. 48 seconds of chaos. The lake opened up and swallowed everything in the red zone. Sirens, screams, people hauling kids from water. One teenage girl, Marley Keller, didn't surface right away. I stayed by the lake until the helicopters left snow falling soft, trying to cover the black wound in the ice. Marley's elf hat floated like a white flag. Every second I'd spent warning them felt like a second stolen from her. Later at home, I stripped the footage down to raw truth. No music, no voiceover. Uploaded it to my site, YouTube, everywhere. HOA ignored ice warnings. Lake collapse caught on drone. Views exploded, 7,000, then 180,000, then 1 million overnight. The story hit the news. This is why you listen to engineers, not HOA Karens. Next morning, Channel 9 called. They wanted me live in studio. My only demand: let the evidence speak. That's how I ended up under bright lights in my old Navy blazer, voice steady for the first time in months. I didn't want to be right. I told the whole state. I just wanted them to listen. Lawsuits started piling up, 24 families in all. The HOA caved, settled big. But not before the real bombshell dropped: an anonymous letter dated 4 days before the event from the HOA's own engineer. We cannot certify load-bearing capacity of the ice at this time. Recommend postponement. They knew. They'd always known. After that, the community turned. Recall petitions flew. The board was ousted in a landslide. Marley woke up, miracle recovery, but changed forever. The new council wrote Marley's clause into the rules: no event on shared land without third-party safety sign-off published for everyone to see. Over the years, it didn't end with us. My story went viral. States passed laws, a movement grew. People learned finally that silence is more dangerous than thin ice. Kids skate safe now. Grandparents check the beacon. Every December, we light candles in the shape of the crack that changed everything. Marley walks with her son to the shore, opens the old green notebook, and reads my final words. Silence breaks faster than ice. Truth holds longer than either. So, here's my question for anyone who made it to the end. What would you have done standing on that shore? When do you speak up, and when do you walk away? Is silence worth the risk? Or does justice demand a voice? One stubborn voice, even if it shakes. Share your stories, your thoughts on right and wrong. I want to hear what justice looks like to you. Because next time the ice cracks, maybe your voice will be the one that holds.